The information provided on this podcast is for general informational purposes only and is not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your qualified health provider with any questions you may have. Never disregard professional medical advice or delay in seeking it because of something you have heard on this podcast. Reliance on any information provided here is solely at your own risk.
Welcome. This is Birth, Baby. Your hosts are Sierra Morgan and Samantha Kelly. Sierra is a birth doula, hypnobirthing educator, and pediatric sleep consultant.
Samantha is a birth doula, childbirth educator, and lactation counselor. Join us as we guide you through your options for your pregnancy, birth, and postpartum journey. Thank you to our listeners for your continued support. If you enjoy our content, please be sure to like, follow, rate, and review wherever you listen to podcasts. This helps us gain visibility to other people that could benefit from listening in.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, we are going to be talking with Kim Yancey, who is a mom here in Central Texas. She's a mom, a foster mom, and a surrogate carrier who has had a lot of stories, and she's going to share them with us today. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. Kim, thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to have you on and hear about your journey.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Amazing. So do you want to start us off by telling us about your kind of journey into motherhood?
Yeah, sure. I had my first child fairly young. I was 21, I turned 22 right after, but it was a wonderful, healthy pregnancy, pretty typical. I didn't know what to expect, because I was so young. I hadn't had time to kind of research that. And then, we subsequently had 3 other babies right after that, spread a couple years out. But I had great pregnancies, very typical, kind of, my husband and I, we should try to have another baby. I get pregnant that month, carry full term, push a couple times, and a baby's born. It was very, non-eventful.
That's amazing. And did you plan for hospital deliveries with all of those pregnancies? Did your plans kind of change as you went throughout the subsequent pregnancies?
Yeah, I think we did plan hospital deliveries more, I think, because I didn't really know that there was options then. My oldest son's 27, so it was a while ago, and I just thought this is what you're supposed to do. So they were all planned hospital births, vaginal deliveries, zero issues at all. And then we thought we were done. We had our 4 kids and we thought, okay.
Love it. That's
it.
So good. And how was your postpartum experience throughout all of those pregnancies with 4? That's a lot of different experiences. You're going through it with little ones and all on your own. What was that like for you?
It actually was okay. I didn't really suffer too much postpartum. I was a busy mom, but my husband's a huge help, a huge support, and very in tune with what I was needing. And it just went probably as typical as I could have hoped, or that's just what I thought that's what happens. I hadn't really talked to a lot of other mothers that, people really didn't talk about issues or, things like that. And so I just thought, this is great. This is just what's supposed to happen.
Textbook. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. And were all of those unmedicated, or did you have epidurals? What did you do?
Epidurals.
Epidural
sure.
all the way. I love it.
It was great. I did. Only issues we had there is I'm naturally, more red hair, fair skin. So we had to do a couple of them twice, but everything was great. Healing was great. It was, until we got to the next pregnancy.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
So we decided we were done having kids, and undecided really of what we were going to do about the future. Like, my husband was going to go get a vasectomy or what we were doing. So I went ahead and got an IUD. I ran into a ton of problems with that. So I went and got that taken out. And as we were figuring out the next step for us and our family planning, I ended up getting pregnant again.
Oh, goodness.
So we said too. So we had these 4 young kids at home, very busy household. We thought we were done. But of course, loved kids. And, so we went to my same OB, and my husband was joking and said, please tell me there's not twins in there, just kind of joking around. And this was at our 12-week ultrasound. And my doctor said, there's twins. It's twins.
Oh my gosh.
He had no twins. He delivered all of the babies,
Yeah.
And we thought he was kidding. We really thought he was joking until he, showed us that there's 2 babies inside there.
And so up to that point, had you felt any different than your previous pregnancies, or it was just kind of all the same?
All the same, but I think I was so super active with all the kids, and maybe I just wasn't in tune with that. But yeah, I felt it all. I felt the same.
Wow. Panic is spreading as people are listening to this thinking, oh my God, can I be having twins?
Yeah, well, I was panicked too, because I was like, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? But the panic really set in when he said, okay, well, you have Momo twins.
Okay.
So that really set in some fear there. And so, yeah, they were in the same sac, sharing the same placenta. And so it's immediately high risk. And I thought, great, this is what I need, is now these 4 young kids at home, pregnant with twins, and now it's a high risk.
A high risk pregnancy. And for anyone listening who doesn't know a whole lot about twins, there are different kinds of twins. There are twins who share an amniotic sac and a placenta, which is what Kim experienced. Those are called Momo. We have, I think it's called monodi twins, who might share a amniotic sac, but have their own placentas. And then there's some that have their own amniotic sac and their own placenta. That would be di twins. And there's different variations of risk that comes with those kinds of pregnancies.
Yeah, it was pretty scary. I had no idea. I didn't know anything about this. So, we're trying to figure it all out. And so he sent us home, and then we went back for a subsequent ultrasound. It was the next week, and went in, and so they were identical twin girls, and one didn't have a heartbeat. And so, but the other one did. And so they sent us for a bunch of testing, genetic testing, and this and that. And it turns out they had a genetic disorder called Pallister-Killian's. And so, they basically told us to expect the worst and look at the stats. And, it was very,
oh my gosh.
I was like, oh, thanks. So, we were researching everything we could on this, on Pallister-Killian's, and had a lot of pressure to terminate, but decided we were in this, and we were going to give them the best shot we could, and ultimately lost the second one at 17 weeks.
Wow. Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss. That is so hard. I'm sure it's even more complicated too when it wasn't a planned pregnancy. So it just comes with so many emotions.
It did. We were like, okay, universe, what is happening? You gave us, I felt like it was this gift, and it was just so unique, these identical twin girls and this, and then, and having these 4, as they say, textbook pregnancies and delivery, it was just what is all this? So, we decided, to induce so I could deliver them. I wanted to do that. And so, we went in that same night, to the hospital and induction, and they stick you at the end of the hallway, where you can't hear any other babies being born and babies crying and all that. And hooked me up, got Pitocin going and all that. And it didn't take very long. They were very, very tiny. And I remember apologizing to the nurses, because everyone's very somber, and I just said, I'm sorry that y'all have to be in here for this kind of delivery, And they were like, oh, we do this a couple times a month. We have these. And I was like, what? And this is 2011. I mean, this is a while ago,
Right.
Nobody talked about like, really, I feel like it wasn't as mainstream maybe to talk about pregnancy loss and things like that. And so I was just shocked. Like, what do you mean you have these like kind of these stillbirth deliveries,
Yeah.
Um, we ended up delivering the girls, and we had the chaplain came, and we had a little ceremony, and we had them cremated. So, yeah, that was really tough going home with no babies.
How did your children at home react to that whole process? Were they able to kind of understand what was going on, or was it pretty abstract to them?
We are super open with everything with them. So it's like when we found out they were sick before, we told them, because the girls also had multiple, like their stomach, their diaphragm was up by their hearts were pushed over. It was like some list of things that we were going to have to address should they have been able to be born full term.
Yeah.
So we knew, and we told them. And I think they understood to the best of their ability at the time that they were just very sick, and they went to be with God. Like, it was just what,
Yeah.
but I don't really remember, honestly. There was a chunk of 4 to 5 months ish of my life that I don't remember. Like,
Wow.
my husband says, that I carried on. We took care of the kids. It's just, I don't have I think I was stuck in mourning, and I just don't remember anything else. But I do feel very grateful that I got to come home to my 4 beautiful, healthy children, and just got me thinking that so many women and their partners and they have these losses and don't get to come home. They come home and there's no other children. I feel like, because they kind of like filled that void for me. So it just got me thinking about other people going through similar situation.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we're gonna go into kind of what came next, which is just another complete miraculous experience, truly. But I think we're gonna get into that on our next episode. So if you all want to join us next week and hear more about Kim's journey, and she's gonna go into surrogacy, you guys. It's really exciting. So join us on our next episode, and we will be back. Thank you for joining us on Birth, Baby. Thanks again to Longing for Orpheus for our music. You can look him up on Spotify. Remember to leave a review, share, and follow wherever you get your podcasts. See you next week.